Good morning, everyone. This is Emily, and welcome to your daily 10 minutes of Cafe English. It is Thursday, April 30th.
And I am Lisa. Honestly, I cannot believe it is the last day of April already.
I know. Quick question. Did you do anything different this morning?
I actually stretched for 5 minutes after I got out of bed.
It felt amazing. That is so smart. I just rolled straight to my desk.
Why do you ask?
Because 2 of today's stories are about the body and the brain.
Oh, now I'm curious. What is on the menu?
First, Nicole Kidman has a daily 2-minute hug rule with her teenage daughters, and she says there's a real reason behind it. Wait, 2 minutes? That's way longer than my usual quick squeeze. Right? Second, scientists say a tiny worm-like creature from 600 million years ago might be the reason we have eyes today. 600 million! Okay, that's a lot of zeros. And third, Amazon just announced a huge new deal with Anthropic, the company behind Claude, billions of dollars and a lot of debate. Body, brain, and big tech. Quite a Thursday. Quick reminder, this channel turns real news into cafe-style English, so you can listen, shadow, and enjoy 10 minutes of natural conversation every day. Subscribe to practice with us. We would love to have you. Today's keyword is ritual.
Ritual. I love that for today.
A ritual is a regular, meaningful routine. We'll see how it shows up in all 3 stories. As in, my morning coffee is basically a sacred ritual. Let's start with our first story. Nicole Kidman recently said at a live event that she makes her 2 teenage daughters hug her for 2 full minutes every day.
2 whole minutes. Wow, that hits home for me, actually. When I was a teenager, 2 minutes would have felt like an eternity.
I knew you were going to say that. Her daughters are 17 and 15, by the way.
Oh, peak teen years. So she is basically holding them in place with hug science.
Pretty much. She said, and I am quoting here, it releases certain chemicals in the body.
That is the hug hormone, right? Oxytocin. I read about that years ago. It's the same one that bonds parents and babies.
Exactly. And longer hugs really do trigger more of it. Short ones, not so much.
That makes sense. So a 2-second pat is basically nothing science-wise.
She also shared a really sweet detail. She said when her daughters come to talk to her, 90% of the time, she gives no advice. No advice? Honestly, that's a power move. As a teen, I just wanted someone to listen. Same, and she calls parenting teenagers extraordinary, which I love. Okay, but I have to push back a little. Forcing a 2-minute hug on a 15-year-old? That sounds intense. Fair point. I think the word force is doing a lot of work there, but I see what you mean. Imagine standing in the kitchen holding still for 2 minutes. Awkward. I think the awkwardness is part of the design. After about 20 seconds, your body just relaxes into it.
So she's using time and chemistry to bypass teenage walls.
Beautifully put. That's exactly the ritual she's creating.
There's our keyword already, a daily 2-minute ritual.
And it costs nothing, which is the magic of it. So would you try it with someone in your life? With my mom, yes. With anyone else, I would need to negotiate. Moving on to our second story, this one is about a 600-million-year-old creature that scientists say might be the ancestor of every eye on Earth.
Oh my gosh, I have been waiting for this one. Tell me everything.
So a research team in Sweden and UK recently published this in a major science journal. They describe a tiny worm-like creature, smaller than a grain of rice probably.
Cute!
Or terrifying. Hard to say with worms. And here is the wild part. It only had one eye, right on top of its head.
One eye? Oh, like a cyclops worm. That is amazing. So are two eyes evolved from one?
Sort of. The story's even cooler. The creature originally had paired eyes, then lost them when it became less active and just filtered plankton. So it got lazy and lost its eyes?
I feel personally attacked.
But it kept some light-sensitive cells on top of its head, like a tiny solar panel.
A built-in skylight. I love that. So it could still tell day from night.
Exactly. And then later, when it became more active again and started swimming, evolution rebuilt new paired eyes from that central structure.
Okay, so the cyclops eye basically donated parts to make our two modern eyes, like a biological kit that kept upgrading itself.
Beautiful analogy. And here's the kicker. That ancient single eye still exists in your head right now.
Wait, what? Where?
It is your pineal gland, the little brain part that makes melatonin and runs your sleep cycle.
No way. So my sleep schedule is being run by a 600 million-year-old eyeball?
One researcher actually called that idea mind-boggling, and I agree.
That is so cool. So when I check my phone at midnight and can't sleep, I'm basically yelling at my inner cyclops.
Yes, and waking up early to morning light is a ritual that ancient eye still wants you to follow.
Our keyword strikes again, a literal 600 million-year-old ritual.
Finally, our third topic today is Amazon and Anthropic. So Anthropic is the company behind the AI assistant called Claude.
Right. I have been hearing a lot about them lately. Big news?
Huge. Last week, Amazon announced it is putting in another $5 billion right now, with up to $20 billion more coming if Anthropic hits certain milestones.
25 billion total. That is real money, even by tech standards.
And in return, Anthropic promised to spend more than $100 billion on Amazon Web Services over the next 10 years.
Wait, so Amazon gives Anthropic $5 billion, and Anthropic gives Amazon $100 billion back? Is that a circle I'm drawing in my head?
It does feel a bit circular. The point is, Anthropic gets up to 5 gigawatts of computing power to train and run Claude.
5 gigawatts? Honestly, I don't even know what 1 gigawatt feels like. Is that a city?
Roughly several million homes worth of electricity just for one AI company.
Okay, I have to be honest. Part of me thinks this is incredible, and part of me thinks it's a little scary. Tell me more. Like, on one hand, the technology is genuinely useful. On the other, the energy bill alone could power a small country.
That's a really fair concern. Anthropic actually said demand for Claude has caused, and I'm quoting, inevitable strain on their systems.
Strain on their systems, strain on the power grid. So the answer is just to build bigger?
That seems to be the bet. But here's where I push back gently. Without this kind of investment, the tools we use every day wouldn't improve.
So you're saying it's a necessary cost of the future?
I'm saying it's a trade-off, and both sides of your reaction are valid.
Okay, I can hold both feelings at the same time.
And in a way, big tech investing every year is its own kind of corporate ritual.
Oh, nice callback. Hugs, eyeballs, and now billion-dollar ritual deals. Today's keyword is everywhere.
Okay, that was a lot of ground for one Thursday morning. Let's take a moment to look back.
My brain is full in the best way, honestly.
So today, we covered Nicole Kidman's 2-minute hug rule with her teenage daughters, the 600 million-year-old creature whose single eye became our pineal gland, and Amazon's massive new investment in Anthropic. Body, brain, and big tech, just like he said at the top. And our keyword today was ritual, a regular, meaningful routine, which showed up in every story. The hug ritual, the sleep ritual our ancient eye still runs, and the corporate ritual of giant tech investments. Beautifully connected. So we have a small request for our listeners. We want to keep bringing you stories you actually love, and your feedback shapes that. Tell us which one stuck with you the most today. Option A is the 2-minute hug story. Option B is the Cyclops eye and your pineal gland. Option C is the Amazon and Anthropic investment. You go first today. Which one did you love? I am picking B. I will probably be thinking about my pineal gland all day now. How about you?
Honestly, I'm torn between A and C, but I'll go with A. The image of a quiet 2-minute hug just stayed with me.
That is so you, and I love it.
So drop A, B, or C in the comments. Any language is totally fine, and even just an emoji works.
If you enjoyed today's chat, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss tomorrow's stories. Maybe try one ritual today. Stretch, hug, or just look out the window. Lovely. Take care, everyone, and see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.